正解。
Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage. Chapter 179. All belong to you. Matters seem to have changed beyond recognition overnight. One did not thought that the previously spring breeze that was filled with glory had become troublesome in a moment. Wang Bai and Shen Dongling did not expect that Huang Fuhao would be killed by the Crown Prince. No one knew what exactly went on between both of them, even though the Crown Prince did their best to emphasize that the Crown Prince did not take action towards Huang Fuhao, and when the Crown Prince reached Yifeng Pavilion, Huang Fuhao was already dead. But Huang Fuhao's guards were not convinced of it, since the misunderstanding was created, not to mention it was a misunderstanding with blood, so what ensues was a shocking criminal offense. Shen Dongling tried her best to maintain her calm expression as she comforted Wang Bai. There must be some misunderstanding in all of this. As long as the misunderstanding is clarified, everything would be solved. But her heart was sinking into the abyss. From the eyes of the outsiders, it was Wang Bai who found the incense to gift to the Crown Prince. The Crown Prince then presented Buddha with borrowed flowers and invited Huang Fuhao to appreciate incense. Thus Wang Bai was the source of the disaster of this bloody case. Even if the matter was not related to Wang Bai at all, the wrath of the imperial family was something that was impossible for Wang Bai to escape safely. Moreover, even if the Crown Prince was lucky and proved his innocence, it was Wang Bai who made the suggestion, and because Wang Bai presented it, Huang Fuhao died, so the Qin country would not be willing to take things lying down. If the allies of the Crown Prince die, how could the Crown Prince not vent his anger on Wang Bai? So be it left or right, Wang Bai, the sacrificial lamb, could not run away. Wang Bai obviously thought of this level, and his expression became extremely ugly. He was after all calmer than Shen Dongling and only said, "Return to the residence first. Go and visit the Crown Prince residence and ask what is going on. How did the perfectly fine Huang Fuhao die? Who was the one who assassinated? Why did Huang Fuhao shout the Crown Prince's name?" All the complications and confusion was simply incomprehensible. No matter what, one had to first figure out what was going on in order to find a solution to it. The driver turned the horses around and headed towards the city. Shen Dongling suddenly seemed to have thought of something and asked, "Why did one not see fifth younger sister?" Wang Bai was startled. One had to know what this entire strategy that the Crown Prince used was for Shen Miao, because Shen Dongling calculated the timing. They should reach Yifeng Pavilion around the same time as Shen Miao so that one could portray sisterly love. They had stopped here for a while, so logically speaking Shen Miao and the rest should have also arrived. One could see out to the mountain road at a glance from where they were, but there were no horse carriage in front or behind at all. Why was Shen Miao not here? Wang Bai only knew that Shen Miao was the Teng Mai of Shen Dongling, and because Shen Zin's strong military power she was able to live well, but he did not know anything about Shen Miao's temperament at all. Shen Dongling, however, had seen Shen Miao's tactics on the second and third household, so her entire heart sank straight down. How would it be so coincident if Shen Miao did not come? Could it be that Shen Miao had long knew that something would happen today? No one had the ability to know the future, so could it be that today's matter was related to Shen Miao? Even if she was supernatural, how would she be able to kill the Crown Prince of Qin country this easily? Wang Bai heard Shen Dongling's words but misunderstood Shen Dongling's meaning. He said, "Yes, if fifth Shen lady is present then matters would be smoother." Wang Bai thought that with one more person, the blame would be shared around, and if Shen Miao was present, then taking Shen Zin into consideration, Emperor Wenhua would not make things too difficult for him, but if he only punished him alone then it would look biased. Thus, in order to show justice and equality, if Shen Miao was present, it would help Wang Bai on many matters. He said, "Let's go back to the residence first. Maybe fifth Shen young lady had returned. Let's see how it is at the Crown Prince end first." Shen Dongling nodded her head, but there was a bitter smile in her heart. She did not know why, but she always felt that Shen Miao would not have gone back already. One feared that Shen Miao had never planned to come to Yifeng Pavilion from the very beginning. This opponent, Shen Miao, was much more scary than she had thought to be. At the other side, on the streets, Lu Tan was sitting in the horse carriage as she wiped the sweat on her forehead. What can be done? One had been delayed for such a long time that if one rushed to Yifeng Pavilion, one feared that it would be too late. Just now, when the Shen family's horse carriage passed through a bustling place in the city, they accidentally knocked onto an old woman. That old woman was unconscious at the very spot, and the Shen family was not a small family in Ding capital, and Shen Xin was a great hero that everyone respected, thus naturally they would be concerned. Shen Miao and Lu Tan would definitely not leave the old woman alone and leave. The guards were instructed to send the old woman to the nearest medical hall, and they kept watching as the physician took the old woman's pulse and only left when the old woman woke up. Their actions naturally won the approval of many commoners, and only felt that the young ladies from the general residence were not arrogant or spoilt, and instead were considerate of the ordinary people and had a rarely seen character. The praise earned was not false, but a lot of time was delayed. If one were to rush over to Yifeng Pavilion now, it would be noon when they reach. Shen Miao thought about it before saying, "Don't go anymore." Oh. Lu Tan was still thinking of how to resolve this problem and could not help but be surprised when she heard Shen Miao's words. Why not going? Doesn't youngest Biao's sister hated people who does not keep their promises the most? Shen Miao smiled. The most important factor of appreciating incense is the timing and location. The best time for Yifeng Pavilion is during the morning, as it is during this time when appreciating incense, the air would be the freshest. If one were to appreciate incense during the afternoon, the earth scent would be mixed in and it would not be ideal to appreciate the aroma of the incense. One cannot let others wait for us. This is not nice. She reached her hands out to call for Mo King to let him pass a message via pigeon to Yifeng Pavilion, indicating that Lu Tan and she would not be able to attend due to some matters. Although Lu Tan had some regrets, she had no interest in appreciating incense at all. It was difficult for her to come out, so naturally she pulled Shen Miao to shop around. Shen Miao saw that it was still early, and with Akai and the rest of the guards accompanying, there was no problems in walking around, thus she agreed to it. Who knew that Lu Tan was so excited that after this walk, it was already nearing to evening when they returned to the Shen residence. When their horse carriage reached to the doors of the residence, the servant that was at the doors smiled. "It is good that young lady has returned. Furen and master have also just returned, just in time to have dinner." Lu Tan was in all smiles as she pulled Shen Miao by her hands and stepped in. Who knew that upon entering the main hall, Lu Zuwan was talking to Shen Xin, and upon seeing that Shen Miao and Lu Tan had returned, she was first startled before giving a sigh of relief. "Zhao Zhao, Tanner, where did both of you go?" "Today Wang Furen of the Minister of Land invited us to Yifeng Pavilion to appreciate incense, but during the journey the horse carriage knocked onto an old woman. Older Biao's sister and me were busy taking care of that old woman and missed out on the timing, thus we have sent over our apologies and did not go." Older Biao's sister and I then walked around. "Father, Mother, did something happen?" Shen Miao called Shen Dongling as Wang Furen of the Minister of Land, deliberately drawing a line on their relationship, not wanting to be any closer to Shen Dongling. Lu Zuyan did not take note of this point and only took a deep breath. "This really scared me." The Qin Crown Prince was assassinated and died in Yifeng Pavilion, and every single person related was taken to the prisons to be interrogated. "That Wang Bai said that you were also there, but no one had seen you. Your father and me rushed back and saw that you all were not in and feared that something had happened." Lu Tan was startled. "Assassinated and died? Who have such a courage that would even dare to assassinate the Crown Prince of Qin country in broad daylight? Aren't the Qin Crown Prince's guards highly skilled? How could they not even protect their own master's life?" Unlike Lu Tan's shocked face, Shen Miao was very calm as she said, "Don't worry. Biao's older sister and I did not go to Yifeng Pavilion. During the day when one knocked onto the old woman, there were numerous of commoners who witnessed it. In case of future trouble, we also had reported it to the authorities. These commoners can testify for us as we were busy with taking care of the old woman, so how does one have time to go to Yifeng Pavilion?" Under the eyes of the public, nothing was fake, and moreover Shen Miao did not have the ability to split herself, so how was she able to appear in the Yifeng Pavilion? Shen Xin scoffed and there were some anger in his expression. Huang Bai is so courageous to actually dare to splash dirty water on my Shen family. It seemed that the Huang family want to pull us into the water. Lu Zuyan had understood and said hatefully, Shen Dongling is relatives with us and one had never thought that she would have such vicious intentions. How would one scheme against one's family? Shen Miao smiled coldly. In the second and third household of the Shen family, which one actually treated us sincerely? Lu Zuyan and Shin Zin were silent. Lu Tan felt that the atmosphere was somewhat heavy and smiled. Oh, speaking of which, youngest Biao's sister and my fortunate is good today. If one did not knock onto that old woman, one fear that we would have really went to Yufeng Pavilion to appreciate incense. Since Huang Fu Hao was assassinated and even his guards could not save him, the assassins must be highly skilled. If youngest Biao's sister and I went, most likely we will also be implicated. Speaking of that, we must thank that old woman. Shin Miao smiled and was about to say something when she heard Lu Tan mumbling, but previously when the invitation was sent to us, it did not mention that the Qin Crown Prince is also going to appreciate incense. Why would the Crown Prince of Qin go to appreciate incense? Is there other people present and were there casualties? Before anyone could answer, Lu Tan continuously questioned but once saw two people walking from outside. They were Shen Kaiyu and Lu Ling. When Lu Tan turned around she shouted, "Older brother Kaiyu, what happened to you all?" Shen Kaiyu's and Lu Ling's clothes were all somewhat messy and there were some traces of blood on their faces and bodies. They looked like they were in a poor condition. Lu Zuyan and Shen Zin also jumped in shock. Lu Zuyan quickly went up and looked over both of them hurriedly. What had happened? Shen Kaiyu quickly explained, "Don't worry, it is not my blood but someone else's." Lu Zuyan then felt assured but before she could totally put her heart down, she heard Lu Tan asking, "Older brother Kaiyu, did you and older brother Ling went to arrest the assassins who killed the Qin Crown Prince today? Are the assassins very powerful and difficult to deal with?" "It seems that it looked difficult for you." Shin Zin frowned and asked, "Shen Kaiyu, is that the case?" Shen Kaiyu and Lu Ling looked at one another and their gaze was somewhat strange. After a moment, Shen Kaiyu instructed the servants in the main hall to withdraw before looking thoughtfully towards Lu Tan and Shen Miao. Shen Miao said, "Older Biao's sister and me would not say it out." "Eldest brother, just speak directly." Lu Tan quickly raised her hand to indicate that she would never reveal any one bit of it. Seeing Shen Kaiyu being so solemn, Shen Zin and Lu Zuyan was somewhat suspicious. Lu Ling nodded his head towards Shen Kaiyu and Shen Kaiyu only spoke after sighing. "Today the army squadrons of the Ministry of Defense went to arrest people but it was not for the assassins who killed Huang Fu Hao but Huang Fu Hao's guards." "Guards?" Lu Zuyan frowned. Could it be that they want an explanation from Ming Qi but things had escalated to such a level? Lu Zuyan did not have good feelings towards the Qin people. One did not know if it was because the Qin country was only established the shortest among the three countries and did not have any history, thus from the imperial family down to the commoners, everyone had a look of arrogance. Even though the Qin country's power was currently slightly better than Ming Qi, they would always express their arrogance in Ming Qi, which was really unsightly to one's eyes. That was not it. Shen Kaiyu hesitated before speaking. Huang Fu Hao's guards said that the one who assassinated Huang Fu Hao was the Crown Prince and were heading to the Eastern Palace to kill the Crown Prince to avenge Huang Fu Hao. The Crown Prince killed Huang Fu Hao? Shin Zin suddenly stood up. That is not possible. Not mentioning that the Crown Prince had a weak stature and it would not be possible. Currently Ming Qi was trying to form an alliance with the Qin country to deal with Great Liang, so how would one take such a self-destructive plan into action? Killing Huang Fu Hao would only arouse Qin country's anger and the Crown Prince was not a fool, so how could he do such a thankless matter? I also thought it was not possible. Shen Kaiyu was somewhat bewildered. But those guards said that when they were up on the mountain they heard Huang Fu Hao shouting the Crown Prince's name and said loudly that the Crown Prince was the culprit. Since they are Huang Fu Hao's guards, there was no reason to let the real culprit go and frame another. Lu Zuyan asked, Huang Fu Hao's guards were not with Huang Fu Hao? Why did they say they heard it? This is the key point of doubt. Lu Ling continued. According to Huang Fuhao's guards, today it was the Crown Prince who invited Huang Fuhao over to appreciate incense, and it was the Crown Prince who sent an invitation to Huang Fuhao. Huang Fuhao's guard recalled that the Crown Prince's invitation indicated that there was something important to discuss with Huang Fuhao and wanted Huang Fuhao to leave the guards at the waist of the mountain and only let Huang Fuhao go up alone. But the Crown Prince said that his was not mentioned when he wrote the invitation. The officials went to search for the Crown Prince's invitation, but one did not know if the invitation was long thrown by Huang Fuhao. Now there was no evidence and each side had their story, thus making one anxious. Lu Tan muttered. The Crown Prince invited Huang Fuhao to appreciate incense, but why the invitation that Wang Furan sent to me and youngest Biao's sister did not mention about the two people? The people in the room were startled. They all only paid attention to the Crown Prince and Huang Fuhao and ignored Shen Miao's end. At this moment when Lu Tan mentioned it, they remembered that why was Shen Miao and Lu Tan were brought along when the Crown Prince and Huang Fuhao went to appreciate incense, not mentioning Lu Tan, since she had no relations to the people in Ding capital. Shen Miao was different as she was Shen Xin's daughter. When Shen Dongling sent the invitation over, it was not possible for her not to know that the Crown Prince and Huang Fuhao were also coming, so why did she not mention it to Shen Miao? Was it because she had forgotten, or was it deliberate? If it was deliberate, then why did she do it, and what was being planned? Everyone could not help but gave a cold sweat. Lu Zuyin said, "This cannot do. One has to ask Shen Dongling clearly." "Mother." Shen Kaiyu stopped her. Shen Dongling and Wang Bai are already in prison and one cannot rush to visit them at such a time, else it would not be good for others to think that we have anything to do with her. Two crown princes went to appreciate incense and one died, while the other had unphantomably became a murderer. When Emperor Wenhua knew of the matter, he was so angry that he almost fell off. At one end one had to calm the Qin people's anger and arrest a few people to show that Ming-Chi was doing things righteously accordingly to the laws, but at the other end Emperor Wenhua was unable to vent his entire anger. Since it is Wang Bai who brought up the appreciation of incense, then he was the beginning of everything. There would never be an explanation for Amorcha's fury, and Wang Bai was still dreaming of a sweat dream when one ruthlessly broken it. Not only that, this time one was not even able to save one's life or even speak anything. Seeing everyone having various expression and only Shen Miao was as calm as before, it was as if the things that she had listened had nothing to do with her, and indeed it had no connection to her. She said, "This has nothing to do with us, so just wait to see how it is dealt with." Shen Kaiyu noticed Shen Miao's expression and asked, "Younger sister, why are you not in one bit surprised with the assassination of Huang Fuhao, or not astonished that it was the Crown Prince that killed Huang Fuhao?" Shen Miao smiled gently. "There is nothing to be astonished. Just like what those people said, the Crown Prince discussed some matters with Huang Fuhao privately, and during the negotiation process, there was no agreement and a fierce disagreement erupted, making it possible for the Crown Prince to get mad and killed another in a fit of anger. It is not that there were no such cases in Ming-Chi before, so why the need of making so much fuss out of nothing?" Shen Kaiyu was speechless. Shen Miao's words actually said that the entire house of people were unable to remain calm. It was not wrong for Shen Miao to say as such, but to kill another so fiercely? Not to mention the other party was the Crown Prince of a country. Even if Emperor Wenhua was so angry that he lost all sense of reason, he would not just eliminate another cleanly like this. Shen Xin and Lu Zuyan were frowning. Shen Miao need not think that much, but they were officials of the country and every move that the courts made could implicate their future way of living. Moreover, this time Huang Fuhao died in Ming-Chi and the guilty person was the Crown Prince of Ming-Chi. One thought that those guards should have already sent people back to pass the message, and after the Emperor of Qin country knew that his pair of children had passed on in Ming-Chi, who would be the one bearing this thunderous anger? It would be very difficult for Ming-Chi and Qin country to form an alliance, and moreover it was unknown of what kind of actions would Great Liang take. On this night, because of this sudden matter, Even the atmosphere in the Shen mansion was also heavy. However, this was not because of sympathizing Huang Fuhao or the crown prince, but because of the possible variable changes in the future. When Zi Jingxing came over to look for Shen Miao was in a daze by the window. Huang Fuhao died just like that. In the previous life, Huang Fuhao and Princess Ming'an had been the nightmare that she could not get rid of when she went to the Qin country as a hostage. Princess Ming'an was arrogant and malicious, but Huang Fuhao liked to get others to torture her. Huang Fuhao was the crown prince of Qin country, so when he tortures someone, the others would follow suit. In fact, there was no hatred between Shen Miao and Huang Fuhao and Princess Ming'an, but with such malicious insults, it finally accumulated lots of grievances. Unlike others, Shen Miao did not think of letting Huang Fuhao and Princess Ming'an pay for their lives, because it was not them who harmed the Shen family the most. At most, these people only threw stones for a period of her life when she was struggling. If it was not that they have schemed her, Shen Miao would not be bothered to pay any attention to these two people. Now that these people were gone, Shen Miao was somewhat at a loss. After the rebirth, the road that she had taken had always been revenge and protecting the Shen family from repeating the mistakes of the past. But as long as the Fu family people were alive each day, they would definitely not let the Shen family go. Her enemy was very powerful in the beginning, and it was not enough to just have a desperate heart. Shen Miao sometimes also doubt if she could walk all the way to the end. The figure under the tree waved his hands in front of Shen Miao. Shen Miao recovered to her senses and saw Zi Jingxing's mischievous smile. "Miss me so much that you are in a daze?" Shen Miao closed the windows with a paw sound, but Zi Jingxing's hands quickly held it and jumped into the room smoothly. He used one of his arms to press Shen Miao's shoulder and did not let her move as his other hand closed the window. "Be careful not to be frozen, silly." Kong Yang, who was standing outside at the corner of the frozen wall. Shen Miao pulled off Zi Jingxing's hand and sat in front of the table in the room before asking, "How is it handled?" "No problem." Zi Jingxing also followed to sit down and gestured for Shen Miao to pour him tea. Shen Miao sighed and poured the tea out before unwillingly pushed the teacup over and asked, "You are sure that the people of Qin country will not discover it?" Unable to discover anything, Zi Jingxing laughed. "Not everyone is as intelligent as you and me." Shen Miao rolled her eyes. If one were to praise others, just praise. There was no need to add his own praise in. Seeing that the purple-clad youth was drinking tea opposite, a slight ripple formed in her heart. Today's matter was planned by her and Zi Jingxing. Zi Jingxing had various specialists among his subordinates, and some had the ability of disguising appearances and some had the ability to imitate others' voices, and there were even those who could write exactly the same handwriting after taking a look at it. The matter between Huang Fuhao and Fu Ziyuyan, one only changed Huang Fuhao's invitation and changed the timing too. Thus Huang Fuhao and Fu Ziyuyan would climb up the mountain one after the other. After going up the mountain, Zi Jingxing's people would disguise themselves as the crown prince, and the guard that was following by the crown prince's side with his head bowed was speaking for the crown prince. Even though Huang Fuhao and the crown prince were familiar with one another, they were not at a position where one would be totally devoted to another. They also did not grow up with one another, so they could hardly detect that the person opposite was like the plum tree that withered in place of the peach tree. In all, it was all a series of misunderstandings. This trick from the perspective of outsiders was that the crown prince killed Huang Fuhao. No matter what was the excuse, no matter what misunderstanding there was, it was an undeniable and unchangeable fact. The Qin country would not let it lying down. Needless to discuss about having an alliance, one feared that they want to be enemies with Ming Qi. Not mentioning that the broken alliance, in order for Emperor Wenhua to appease to the Qin emperor's anger, he would sacrifice others, and that includes the crown prince. Why are you so confident that the emperor will sacrifice the crown prince? Zi Jingxing's eyebrows raised as he asked. That is his own son. Shen Miao smiled gently. Do you remember my second Shu? Remembered. At the beginning Shen Yuan was also his own son, but when Shen Yuan got into trouble, he was busy clearing his relationship with him. The emperor is also an ordinary person, and the imperial family view relations even lighter. For the sake of the rightness of the world, what does punishing one's family for righteousness matters? Even if one knows that the crown prince was wrongly accused, the emperor would swallow this bitter fruit. Shen Miao spoke with sarcasm, but a faint anger leaked out from the corner of her eyes. Zi Jingxing stared at her thoughtfully. As far as the Fu family was concerned, Shen Miao would always have a kind of hatred for them. Even though she had done her best to cover it up, there would always be a moment where she could not conceal it. These moments were caught by Zi Jingxing and suspicions formed in his heart, but he would not ask forcefully. He said jokingly, "You seem to know the imperial family very well and spoke like you have personally experienced it." Shen Miao's eyes hang down. Didn't she experience it personally in her past life? After marrying to Fu Ziyu, because of the fight of the heir apparent, he actually fought the rest of the brothers to death. In the 9 brothers, there were those that died and some whose whereabouts were unaccounted for. Even if one barely lived, at the end when Fu Ziyu ascended to the throne, they would be eliminated by some unwarranted charges. It was the Fu family's inherent instinct not to leave any future troubles. Even between Fu Ziyu and Emperor Wenhua, there would be Emperor Wenhua guarding against his son's usurping the throne, and Fu Ziyu looked forward for his father's early death. There was still the Empress, Dongshu consort and Zhu Xian consort in the inner palace. Whoever talked about family relations, whoever would be the fool. It was a pity that she did not understand it in her previous lifetime and always thought that people had heart and soul. She had forgotten that Fu Ziyu had dealt with his own brothers and father, so naturally he could deal with his son. When Shen Miao was deep in the inner palace, those ladies who initially had strong love and hate, they were all smoothened out till it was almost gone. As for Fu Ziyu's remaining love, all of it were built on him as Wan Yu's and Fu Ming's father. Shen Miao thought that no father would not dote on their children. However, Fu Ziyu at the ad sent his own daughter to the Xiongnu for a marriage alliance and forced his son up the road of death. She would definitely personally demand this stack of debts back. Seeing a change in the expression in Shen Miao's eyes, and at the bottom of it there were some painful emotions, Zi Jingxing's brows wrinkled as he did not know what had touched Shen Miao's unhappiness. He hesitated a bit before saying slowly, "If you have any difficulties, you can tell me. I will solve it for you." Shen Miao looked up at him. "You speak as though you can do it." But she was very clear in his heart that Zi Jingxing could definitely do it. He said kill, and 2 crown princes were killed. Even though the crown prince and Emperor Wenhua knew clearly that they were schemed against, there was no chance to refute it. This kind of sinister methods, only Zi Jingxing could carry it out. His guts were so big that it could pierce the skies, and he was so cunning and sly that others would not have any leverage on him. It was like there was nothing in the world he could not do. Shen Miao suddenly had a thought that pop up in her head. If only she had met him in her previous life. But she only said, "If one wants you to change the entire face of the country, can you do it?" When the purple-robed youth holding the jasper teacup heard it, he only smiled, and his features were beautiful, as if the begonia's petal were opening as in spring, and elegance oozed out from one's bones. Even though his gaze was as sharp as a sword, his tone was slightly in a teasing manner. "Just some imperial power. If you want it, it will all belong